Hey guys, it's Tori, and it is the second day of the magical readathon. I didn't film yesterday because I've been cleaning, haven't really been reading, unfortunately, but I have been listening to the audiobook for Illuminae while I've been cleaning and packing up my room. As you can see, there's some boxes. Pretty much nothing in my room right now. But anyway, I've been listening to Illuminae, and the audiobook for this book, if you don't know, it's basically a science fiction written in files. Like, it's kind of a mystery, mystery slash, like, they're files that are being brought into a court case. And they have a full cast for the audiobook, so every, like, character has its own voice, and even the people reading some of the files, like, have their own voices that you don't really know who they are, they're just a narrator, but, like, it's so good. It feels like, it's like being in a Star Trek movie. Like, it's, like, so fun to listen to. So, I was debating if I was gonna do this, but I ended up having my dad download Gemina, the second book in the Illuminae series. My one complaint about this series, I will say, is there's a lot of swearing, and they're like, because it's told in files that are being given in court, they like bleep out the swear words, but like you hear like the first and last letters or whatever of a lot of them, so you like know what they're saying. So it's like a problem, and it's like a lot of F words, unfortunately, and like some like sexual comments, even though there's no sex scenes because like it's files. But there are like sexual like comments made and stuff between characters, which is annoying, but like it's seriously like being in a Star Trek movie. Like, it's so good. I just like, I love these books when I read them, but just hearing it, like, they even have sound effects, and it's just so good. It's so good. So I might count Gemina as applying to the challenge for divination, which is to read a book set in the future, which I wasn't planning on following, but I just really want to listen to this, and I might even listen to Obsidio as well. I read Gemina and Obsidio last year because they came out while I was on my mission, and then Illuminae came out before my mission, so I read that before. But anyway, read them last year, but I might just listen to the audiobooks because seriously, it's so cool. I'm just obsessed. But I think right now I'm not going to listen to any more audiobook. I'm watching a show. I've been really into murder mysteries recently for some reason, so that's what I'm watching. But I will probably not update you till tomorrow. My mom's coming to pick me up and help me with some of my stuff, and my brother is close by and she's helping him move out too. So we're heading back up north tomorrow, and I will update you tomorrow night. Hey guys, I haven't updated this in a week, which is fine because this is a month-long reading vlog, so I'm not going to overwhelm you with a ton of vlog clips, but I was thinking I would, every time I finish and start a new book, I would talk about it. So, I did the other night finish Rook, finally, by Sharon Cameron. I did really enjoy this. I'll save my thoughts for my wrap-up, but I will say I started this off. Originally, before I started, I thought it would be a 3 stars. Then I got to a certain point where I was like, maybe a 2-star, and in the end I gave it 4 stars. So it really surpassed my expectations by a lot. I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up. So that was pretty good. I'm still listening to Gemina on audiobook, really enjoying it. I haven't been able to listen to it very much. I've moved back home, as you can see. Sorry about my bed. It's not made because I went to work this morning, and I just got back a little while ago, and I was focusing on editing a video after I got home because I haven't posted a video in 2 weeks. So I really needed to edit a video really bad. So I didn't make my bed today. But Gemina's really good. I remember when I read it, I didn't like it as much as Illuminae, the first book in that series. So it's not really surprising me that it's not quite as good to me, but I still like it, and I do think the audiobooks are solid. I think the audiobooks are really making it this reread for me. On those, I don't know if I'll finish Obsidio or anything, but it is really good. I'm liking it. So, however, I am the book I just started, this is just the Dust Jacket because the book is upstairs and I'm too lazy to go get it, but I did start Two Dark Reigns. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. I think it was the night before. Because yesterday I went to a wedding pretty much all day, so didn't get much reading done yesterday, but the night before that, after I finished Rook, I decided to read the first few paragraphs of the remaining like full-length books that I have left to read that I'm not planning to read on audiobook, and this one just seems like the right fit for me right now. All of them started really well, but I just think that this is the type of book that I'm more in the mood for right now, and I'm kind of in the mood to just revisit old favorite characters and not having to discover a whole new world, but really just go back and learn more about an old one and old characters and everything. So that's what I'm doing now. It's going well. I'm proud of myself. I mean, it's only been a week since the month started and I've already finished 2 books and started 2 others. So, and considering the amount I need to read is 8, that's really good. That's almost, if I finish the last 2, the 2 I just started, by next week I'll be halfway done, halfway through the month. So, good on me. Good on me. I mean, granted, I'm going to be reading 9 or 10 total, but the rest are short stories, and so the only like full-length novels I have left are the ones I'm reading, and then 3 others. So I think I'll be able to do it. I feel pretty good about it. I feel good. So yes, there's my update. I think we'll just leave it there. Hey guys, it's currently May 15th, Wednesday night, and I haven't been updating this very well because I found that I get motivated to update at night, but it's usually around 11, and my brother is sleeping at that point, and he's right next door to my room where I would usually film it, and he is still in school, so I don't want to wreck his sleeping schedule, so I haven't been updating, but I did finish Two Dark Reigns, absolutely loved it. It's interesting reading this book. It's not the characters that I'm necessarily in love with. I mean, they're fine, they've grown on me, but really I just love the history of this world, and the history is so central to the plot that it just has my attention so hardcore. I just think that this island and its history is so fascinating, and I love that this world is built around such rich history, especially considering so many fantasy novels, it's often just the story itself that really matters. Anyway, it's just so well done. Absolutely loved it. So excited for the final book in this series. But I did, for the next challenge, I think this is for a book that starts with the letter R? Probably, I think is what I did this. So that would be Defense Against the Dark Arts, but that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This doesn't have the dust jacket on it because I'm reading it. I'm about almost 100 pages through. It's pretty good so far. I'm not really sure where it's going. It's a little slow, but it is a classic, so most classics are a little slower, but I have no predictions. I have like one, but it's very, very, like, not a very firm prediction. So my goal for this week is to finish this, as well as Gemina, the audiobook I'm listening to, and the short story I chose for a book that was written over 10 years ago, I think it was, which was Charms? No, that one was History of Magic. I don't remember, but it's a short story by Louisa May Alcott I'm going to be reading, and then next week I'll only have 3 left that I need to read to get my career goal done, plus get outstanding on the OWL. So, wish me luck. I've been working today, so I didn't get quite as much reading done as I would have liked. But the past couple days I've been doing a good amount of reading. I'm trying to think if there's anything exciting. We've been planning our trip to the UK. That's happening in a couple weeks, and that's been fun. Yeah, so far I felt really good about this readathon. I mean, I was a little worried there for a second. I was like, oh man, I only have 2 weeks left. I thought I had 3. And I mean, I have a couple days too. I'm trying to finish this before my trip. So really I only have until the end of the 27th and part of the morning of the 28th. So I don't have all the way through the 30th. I still might utilize that time depending on how things go, but I'd like to try to get it done before then. Anyway, we'll see how it all goes. Wish me luck. I'm about to start filming, but I thought I'd do a quick update for you guys on my readathon. It is currently the 21st, I think, of May. It's a Tuesday. And I have read quite a bit since I last updated you. So on Friday was such a good day. I think I updated you on Thursday was the last time, or maybe Wednesday. Anyway, Friday I did really, really well. I read the last 100 pages of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I really, really enjoyed this. It was a great psychological thriller, some very great characters, and just such a great atmosphere of just mystery, and it was really well done. I also was able to, I was doing yard work, so I was able to listen to it and finish the audiobook for Gemina. I didn't like that one as much as I liked Illuminae, but it was still really good. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. And I think I'm going to listen to Obsidian, which is the final book in the Illuminae files, but I think I'm going to wait until my trip as just my audiobook that I'll listen to on the plane and stuff. But I was also able to complete my short story that I read for, I want to say, Transfiguration. I'm pretty sure, because it was with a sprayed edges was the challenge. And so I did The Transformation by Mary Shelley. I originally was planning on doing The Abbot's Ghost by Louisa May Alcott. However, it ended up being longer than I thought it was, and I wanted just a short story. I didn't want a novella, which is more what it was. So I decided to try out Mary Shelley. It was my first introduction to Mary Shelley, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good. So 10 out of 10 would recommend that. I'm excited to read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley at some point. I have never read Frankenstein, so it was never required in any of my classes. Excited to read that. Anyway, so that was a really good reading day. I kind of took a break on Saturday from reading just because I just had read a lot last week, and Friday I read a ton. So I was like, I think I'm gonna take a little break. And I didn't really have time to read anyway on Saturday, so I just didn't. And then Sunday I try not to read very much. I try to focus on family, and I'm religious, so I focus on church and stuff like that on Sundays. And so I didn't start this until yesterday, but I am about halfway through it. And that is A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. I don't remember which challenge this is for, but I have enjoyed it so far. There's some things, I feel like it has some great messages, but it also has some messages I don't really agree with. So I'm not completely sure what I would rate it. If I were to rate it right now, it would probably be like a 3, maybe a 4. But because I do really enjoy the story and I like the characters, and it's very, very character driven, but less of like a single character, because it's like multiple parts about multiple characters, like down the generations. So it's like it's like family centered. It's a family driven story, I guess you could say. But yeah, I have mixed emotions about it, but I do love the writing. I think the storytelling is beautiful. I like the characters. I feel like they're all the same in some ways, but like their own unique person, which it's like a family. Like you see these similarities between each generation, but you also see these big differences as well. So really have enjoyed that. And then I only have 2 more books to read once I finish that one for the readathon, and I'm so excited. I'm not going to do all 12 challenges. I know a lot of people are able to do that. That's just, I'm not gonna have time between going on my trip and everything, and just having moved like back home. My routine is very off, so I haven't read as much as I might have been able to if I was a little more in a routine. But that's okay. I feel good about reading 9. Like, that's good. That's good. So, anyway, that is it for this update. And hopefully I will update you soon, because I feel like my updates have been really spread out and I'm very sorry. Yeah, bye.
Alright, so it's pouring rain, so I'm not sure how well you'll be able to hear me. I can probably talk loud enough. Anyway, but I did want to update you. I decided to do it in the car while I'm in here. I'm gonna set this here. Anyway, just because I thought a new background, if you can see, let's let it settle, see the rain pouring. Anyway, but I was just dropping my sister off at dance. My mom is currently going to a riding camp type thing, a riding retreat for the next couple of days, and so I'm kind of the mom for the weekend, but as my dad will be working and everything. But I wanted to update you. I did finish A Secret History of Witches. I really ended up enjoying it. The only thing I didn't like about it was I felt like there was kind of a sense throughout parts of it of like demonizing men in a lot of ways, and I'll go more into detail in my wrap up on what I mean by that, but it was just very like a battle between the sexes over power, and in some ways, and I was just like, why can't you just treat each other with respect and not be like, I am more powerful than you or you're more powerful than me? Why can't we just work together and have our own types of power? Anyway, that being said, I did really end up enjoying it. I probably would give it like 4 stars. I'm not completely sure. I'm still pondering on it right now. But I did start Sourdough by Robin Sloan. And it's been so good so far. I love Robin Sloan's ability to provide like a contemporary story, and it's at least Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore wasn't really like magical realism. Like, it almost had a magical quality to it, and it had this whimsical quality to it, but it wasn't like magic. And this one feels like it has a little bit more magical realism feeling to it, but I have to like read the rest to really know, I feel like. But it's so good. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm going to start listening to Richard III probably today, maybe tomorrow, pretty soon. I already have the first act downloaded. It's about an hour, so yes, I'll probably be doing that soon, and hopefully that will go well, and then I'll be done. And it's Thursday, so I have until Saturday night is my goal. So hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Hey guys, it's Tori, and I finished Sourdough. It is, oh, what day is it? It's Sunday, the 26th, and I finished Sourdough yesterday. No, I finished it on Friday. And I really enjoyed it. I just love how Robin Sloan is able to create these stories that are so just whimsical and magical feeling without necessarily being a magical story. Mr. Penumbra's was a little more like that. Sourdough actually had a little bit more magical realism elements to it, and that I really enjoyed, and I love the characters. I love just the whole adventure and figuring out what this sourdough starter, what is up with it and what it's made out of, and this whole different culture that she's been introduced to through it. If you don't know, this basically follows a woman who, she's into computer science and she's helping work on these robot arms, and she barely has any free time, but she starts to order dinner from these 2 brothers who just deliver this like spicy soup along with sourdough, and eventually they have visa problems, and so they have to leave, but they end up giving her their sourdough starter, or basically like the yeast that they keep alive to make the sourdough. And it's a very strange starter. It sings and all sorts of weird stuff. Anyway, she starts to sell sourdough. She really excels with baking, and so she starts selling it. On her way, she learns about the culture of these brothers called Maz. It's not a real culture, but it's so interesting learning about it and the history of it, and it's such a fun read. It's just magical and fun, and I absolutely love it. So, highly recommend Robin Sloan's books if you're interested. But I just started yesterday to read Richard III by William Shakespeare. I've been listening to it on audiobook, but following along as well so that I can keep the characters straight. It's been really interesting. If you've seen a previous, I think it was my April wrap-up, I talked about the Woodville nonfiction book that I read, and as I studied that, that's the time of Richard III, and the Woodvilles were very involved in the reign of Edward IV, and then also had a role to play in Richard III's reign as well, as Elizabeth Woodville was the mother of the Princes in the Tower, if you know much about that. Anyway, so it's really interesting to read this when knowing a lot of the history and a lot of the controversy of that time period, and like reading this play that was written during Shakespeare's time, which was during the time of the reign of the Tudors, who defeated Richard III. And so they very much wanted to vilify him, make it seem like he had no right to the throne anyway, and that they have the right, and that he was an evil, manipulative man. And so this play really, really showcases that. And while he wasn't a perfect person, as nobody is, he was a pretty good king. A lot of people have that opinion, and he wasn't as bad as is made out to be in a lot of things, particularly during the time of the Tudors. So it's been very interesting reading this play, knowing a little bit more of the background, and I really enjoyed it. So, and then tomorrow I should finish that, and I'll be done with the readathon, and I'm so excited. I was not sure how this was going to go, if I was going to be in the mood to keep reading, if I was going to get worn out, and I did a little bit at some points get a little worn out, but I was able to take a break of like an afternoon or a day when I needed to, and it all worked out. So it's been fun. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. I'll probably do one more update before I get this all posted, but yes, so I will see you in the next clip. Hey guys, so I'm gonna do this real quick, my finishing clip for the Magical Readathon vlog. I did finish Richard III. I actually ended up finishing it yesterday. Today's Tuesday, so I didn't finish it Saturday like I planned to, but it's okay. I still feel good about it, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said before, I really enjoyed like understanding the history a little bit more, and then reading this, it just made it so much more special that way. And it was just so good. I just absolutely loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, if I remember. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Now, in a couple hours, actually maybe in like just an hour, we're going to be leaving for the airport, so I'm going to be starting a new vlog right after this. You're probably seeing this a couple weeks after I finished off this vlog, because like I said, I'm leaving in an hour and I won't be back until like 10 days from now. So, anyway, that's unfortunate. I was going to post it yesterday, but I was too excited for my trip, so I couldn't focus. So, yes, sorry about that, but it will be up along with my UK trip vlogs. I don't know if I'll do 1 or 2 or how many I'm going to end up doing, but we'll see. So anyway, if you did the Magical Readathon, let me know down below what your experience was like, whether you did it in April or if you did it a different month like me, because I just wanted to do it and I'm gonna do it in April. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!